DMZ Season 6 has just been revealed, and it's looking rather dark and spooky. With this being the final season for DMZ in Modern Warfare 2, the lights are being switched off. The team are bringing back the Haunting event. That means jump scares, an entire conversion of Al Mazrah to nighttime, and Vondel as well, and a brand new clandestine group known as the Dark Ritual Operators descending into the battle. I've got all the details for what to expect in Season 6 right here in this video, so drop a like if you're excited for it, I certainly am, and click that subscribe button if you haven't already. We're closing in on 1 million subscribers, and I'd love it if you could help us get there. Right, first up, let's bring you the official word from Call of Duty as to what we can expect from Season 6. I mentioned those Dark Ritual Operators already. They located and opened a Hellmouth, and after the gate seals were ripped apart, a cacophony of otherworldly gurgling resounded from it. All operators should ready themselves for Operation Nightmare and prepare to battle and repel these aberrant threats. There is another side to this battle though. When the Dark Ritual Operators left the gate open, backup arrived in the form of Spawn, the hellacious anti-hero who is now tasked with sending these monsters and their ilk back to the underworld. Now, let's start to break some of this down for you so you understand what's going to be happening in Season 6. There are several different events happening with the Haunting, as it's being called, across two different maps. We have Al Mazrah and Vondel, both of them being wrapped up in all of this zombified stuff that's going on. On Al Mazrah, we've got Operation Nightmare. This is going to see the presence of a bunch of eldritch hotspots appearing, all the while there's zombies everywhere. You'll have to investigate these locations and take on a most wanted target at each of them, as well as eliminate all of the other hostiles that are around you. Now, the blog post doesn't go into too much detail. There's a lot of redacted stuff in there, because obviously they don't want to ruin the surprise. But some of the locations that you'll have to go investigate include an ancient tomb with a boss called the Pharaoh. There's lots of strange lights and orbs in the sky over another location. There will be spectral encounters at another, where you'll need to use vehicles to combat them. There will be a swamp creature, presumably at Moisa Marshlands, evil spirits somewhere else, and another boss called the Butcher near the Altars of Lilith. So there will be plenty to go and explore on Al Mazrah. There will also be the Haunting of Von Dead, as it's being called, which will transform the Vondel map into a zombie-ridden hellhole. The canals will be running red with blood, and there will be a rare blood moon hanging in the sky. Now, the source of all this activity is apparently the graveyard. It's a hive of summoning activity, and apparently you should go and infiltrate it. However, many of Von Dead's points of interest also show signs of a city overrun by the undead. There will be burning vehicles everywhere, barricaded and vandalized shops. There's a blooded tramway and train station as well. There are other alarming activities to investigate at the zoo, the stadium, and various other points of interest across the map. Demonic altars have also been erected around Von Dead, seemingly a source of power for these activities, and linked in some way to the feared entity known in myth and legend as the Butcher. Now, on both of these maps, Zombie Royale is returning, with original features from the very first Haunting event back in the Verdansk days, as well as some new features as well. So you can expect those random jump scare loot boxes that caught everybody by surprise the first time they opened one, the closure completely of the Gulag during the event. Dead players will be coming back to the map as vessels of the undead, and they're just going to be there to try and annoy and provoke you, and also try and grab vials so they can come back to life. When you're killed off in Zombie Royale, you become a zombie, and then when you are a zombie, you'll have several impressive abilities available to you as you attempt to savagely tear apart the remaining human operators, all the while collecting these special syringes or vials with the purpose of ending your undead purgatory and returning to the fight as a human. As the match progresses, expect an additional undead twist as the corpses of every operator currently spectating the match twitch back to life, creating additional hordes of rotting foes to contend with. Squads will still function with some of their operators transformed into zombies and some of them as normal players, allowing for a variety of tactics if you work in unison. However, zombies slain in the continuing mayhem are further eliminated from the match, so if you're killed as a zombie, that's it, you're sitting in the spectator screen. The squad that defeats enemies both undead and living and finishes the fight first will claim the victory. Of course, it is Battle Royale at the end of the day. There will also be a Captured Souls event running when all of this kicks off, where each kill counts as a captured soul in-game, And then at the end of the match, whether that's Battle Royale, DMZ, or multiplayer, all of those kills will be turned into an in-game currency, and then you can exchange that for a bunch of cosmetic rewards. We've seen this happen before in Modern Warfare 2, but it's all going to be themed around Halloween and zombies and all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, there will also be a mastery weapon camo for you to work towards as well. But after doing that serpentine camo in DMZ, that should be a piece of cake. The zombies that roam across Mazrah and Vondel will occasionally drop a haunted box when they're slain. This will contain a bunch of loot like plates and ammo, and there will be a brand new Bloodseeker grenade added to the game, which is going to latch onto enemies and then highlight them in thermal vision for other players to see. Now, the blog does say there's only one way to avoid this grenade. If you happen to be underwater at the time that it's thrown, it won't latch onto you, so keep that in mind. Now, I've got to admit, all of this does sound pretty cool, but I haven't really spoken about DMZ yet. What's coming to DMZ with this haunting event? Well, the blog post states that all of the features pertaining to Mazrah will be present in DMZ Season 6, but not the Vondel stuff. So all of those locations with the new mini-bosses on Mazrah, the Bloodseeker grenade, the zombie AI that's roaming everywhere, the jump scare loot boxes, all of that is coming to DMZ alongside the usual updates that we come to expect from a DMZ season, which likely means new faction missions, some new gameplay features, and maybe a refresh of certain areas, but to be honest, the blog didn't mention that a wipe was happening, so I wouldn't expect one. All of the in-game challenges linked to the haunting will work in DMZ as well, so you don't have to go and play Zombie Royale just to experience all the haunting stuff, and then so you can get all the rewards that you want to earn. No, you can do that in DMZ too. So if you just want to play on Mazrah in the dark, you can do that in DMZ, but you won't be able to do that in Vondel for some reason. So I'm not sure what's going to happen with Vondel during Season 6, because of course it's being transformed for Battle Royale, because it's going to be all dark and there's going to be blood red canals and the blood moon and all that kind of stuff. But in DMZ, that's not happening. Vondel is not being transformed into a nighttime version. So we're going to have to see what happens with that. The blog doesn't explain it, but there are patch notes coming out, I think, just before the update goes live on September 27th that will give us more information about what we can expect for Vondel in DMZ. Now, there are 3 new weapons coming with Season 6 at launch. The first is the TR-76 Geist Assault Rifle. It is a bullpup weapon with a middling rate of fire, but a high damage output. Now, it fires 7.62 by 39mm rounds. That's the same as the AMAX in Modern Warfare 2019, and it kind of looks similar. It's not exactly the same, but it looks very similar. So the AMAX is back in Modern Warfare 2. If that's true, you can count me in. We're also getting the ISO 9mm. I think we already have an ISO in Modern Warfare 2. So this is a bit like when they added the M13C, when we already had the M13B. Feels a little bit underwhelming. And then there's a new melee weapon being added, which is called Dual Kamas. So it's 2 melee weapons, obviously, but all 3 of these will be available in the Battle Pass to unlock once the season goes live. And then, of course, because it's a massive Halloween update to Call of Duty, you guessed it, there's about 500 skins that are going to turn up in the Battle Pass and the store. There is a Black Cell Battle Pass option, which will include a robotic Valeria skin. Al Simmons is being added as a new operator alongside the Spawn operator, who also happens to be the level 100 operator skin for the season. There will also be a burned Spawn skin that you can unlock, a creepy clown skin for Fender, a Violator skin for Koenig, a Disruptor skin for Harangi, a Soul Crusher skin for Vega, which looks like it's come right out of the fall 2023 collection from the DMZ Fashion magazine, a Nikto Spawn skin, a Gaia skin for Nova, and on top of that, there are a bunch of bundles going out as well. Inarius and Lilith are coming from Diablo, Skeletor is getting a bundle, Ash Williams from Evil Dead 2 is getting a bundle, Alucard from Hellsing, and there's even a Doom chainsaw and shotgun bundle. They've really spared no effort for Season 6, and as I said, I'm not surprised because it's a Halloween update and it's an opportunity for them to sell a bunch of skins, so I kind of expected it. So that's Season 6. It all kicks off on September the 27th, but the main action, all of the haunting stuff, doesn't start until October 17th, which I think is the mid-season update for Season 6. And the reason for that is because the Modern Warfare 3 beta is happening at the beginning of October, and there's no way they could have that happen and it conflict with their massive Haunting of Al-Mazrah update. So that's why we're getting that later on in the season, and then obviously most people will be playing the Modern Warfare 3 beta at the beginning of October anyway. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you soon.